I'm currently eating my duck flour. It came in the dehydrated form, so I soaked it in water for probably about an hour, which was probably extra long for no reason, but I was busy. It doesn't taste good. You know what I mean? It's not the most awful thing, but it's bitter, it's bland. We know the bitter herbs are the good herbs, but definitely not it. It's hard to even swallow. Prior to taking my duck flour, I ate a light fruit breakfast. I had mango. I had a mango and I had some cherries and grapes. So I guess you don't want to take it on an empty stomach. I have my gallon of water, spring water, which I'll just be drinking along the way. And I also have my coconut water. I really don't like coconut water like that. It tastes like backwash to me. But I have it so I can fill back up with electrolytes and stuff during the process, and that one's about 30 fluid ounces plus this gallon, so I probably won't drink this whole gallon, but I want to make sure I have water in my system because somebody was saying, I had read somewhere that people were saying, oh, don't take the duck flour because it caused kidney failure. But somebody, whoever took it that day, obviously wasn't drinking water when they did the cleanse. You have to have water when you're cleansing the body, because the body, the organs, as they cleanse, they're pulling water out of wherever they can. And if you don't have enough, you feel me, like what will happen? It can cause the kidneys to go into failure, you know. So, and I actually had studied that and did some research on that before I decided to take the duck flour, because I'm just like, oh, let me be safe, you know, then sorry. As you can see, I already have drunk like a quarter of it. I'm nervous because I have been fasting on and off, but I've also been breaking my fast, and I've been stress eating heavier meals, and I wasn't even eating cooked meals for like a few weeks prior these last few days. So I'm like, let me just start my cleanse. Because following this duck flour cleanse, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to go straight into my water fast or my juice fast. This piece tastes a little sweet. That was that must have been the flour part. But yeah, so I'm gonna let y'all know about how long it takes for it to kick in, and I'm gonna try to record some of my process. Not really gonna get the parts where I'm throwing up, because who wants to really see that? And I'm gonna let you know how I feel after. And I have my son here. He's gonna help to take care of me the process. And yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. So I'm laying here now. It's been about 2 hours since I consumed it. I literally blended up some of it into a smoothie because I was thinking like it's not kicking in. And soon as I got finished making that smoothie, as I was standing there, my stomach started to hurt a little bit, or not really pain, but just discomfort. My uterus started to feel a little bit heavy, like you know how it feels when you're about to begin your cycle. I've been having on and off head pain, but now the head pain is a little more than it was before. It's still not intense pain, otherwise I wouldn't be talking to y'all like this. I've been burping a bit within the 2 hours of taking it. My mouth is salivating, not like I need to immediately throw up, but still like the nauseous feeling is coming on. I'm feeling it right now, actually. Turn that off, Adrian. So yeah, it's just now starting to kick in. I made more because I read that when you get it in the dehydrated or dried form, that it takes off some of the potency. So I had made some more in a smoothie just in case this first one didn't kick in. But it's definitely starting to kick in now. Feels a little bit, it feels a little cloudy in the chest area as well. So I'm really just focusing on deep breathing, laying down now because the head pain is, it's not really pain, it's more of discomfort. And yeah, I did have a slight feeling like I needed to poop a few minutes ago. So it's just a lot going on at one time right now. I'll check back in a few. It's started. It didn't kick in for about 2 hours. By the time it did kick in, I started feeling nausea for like 27 minutes. Just when I was about to journal that the nausea was getting unbearable, that's when I finally threw up. And I've just been throwing up since. I've been journaling about it. So 22 minutes after consumption, I felt like bits of mucus coming up in my throat. I had a slight headache and lots of like belching, like burping. 48 minutes had went by and still no intense feeling, no vomit, no bowel movements. I was thinking about taking another flower. I had then made a smoothie with another one because I had read that when you get them in the dehydrated form that they lose some of their potency. So I had just made a smoothie and did that because I didn't want to eat it raw again. As soon as I made the smoothie, that's when it started to kick in. That was at 3:46. I started feeling stomach pain. My uterus started to feel heavy, like as if I was about to start my cycle, but I'm not. And I had a bit of nausea, slight shortness of breath. And then I had the slight feeling like I had to poop and more headaches. The headache was just increasing a bit. Right when I was writing down that the feeling of nausea was almost unbearable, that's when I started to throw up. I hate nausea. I hate throwing up because when I had him, I had hyperemesis and I was throwing up and nauseous a lot. So it kind of gives me PTSD. The great thing is, after the nausea, after you throw up, it goes away for a little while, maybe like 10-15 minutes, and then threw up again. So I've thrown up about twice, 2 sessions so far, with multiple pukes in the one session. I just came in from washing out my bucket and I decided to use a bucket instead of having to run to the bathroom. But yeah, I'll keep y'all updated. I'm throwing up the fruit that I ate for breakfast and water so far. So it is the very next day. The duck flower cleanse is complete. Some things that I didn't mention. I just was taking notes. I was noticing that I would get hot and cold sweats. Like I was laying here, sometimes I would get cold and have goosebumps. Then I would get really hot. Also towards the middle ending, it was like a real rush of stomach pain that would happen. Like it was painful. And then my mouth would start salivating. I would be nauseous and I would throw up. And that's how it would continue. I would throw up more in the beginning. It was like every 15 to 20 minutes. As we got further down the line of hours, I was probably throwing up every 10 or 5 minutes as it progressed and was getting ready to finish up. I was throwing up water, I was throwing up mucus, I was throwing up acid bubbles, and I was also throwing up the yellow stomach acid and mucus. So it was a lot. I threw up more times than I could even count, but every 20 to 10 to 5 minutes, the process for me, I took the duck flower at 2 o'clock. It did not start to kick in as far as symptom wise till 4 o'clock. I started to get excruciatingly nauseous at 4. By 4:27, just when the nausea was getting so unbearable, I finally started to throw up. And that was at 4:27. So it took 30 minutes for me to throw up. And I did not finish and complete like no more throwing up and lay down, and was actually finally able to go to sleep until 10:47. So I was in it for a good 6 hours and some change of feeling the symptoms. And all in all, I took it at 2. So that was a whole 8 hours and some change of just having it in my system. It was a lot. I do feel a lot better. I feel very clear now. But it was a lot. Like in the beginning, I was telling y'all it wasn't really in pain that I was in. It was more of discomfort. But towards the end, it was pain. And I knew that the end was coming because I could just feel it. Like it would get more intense. Like it's just squeezing the last of whatever. I believe that my intestines and like my stomach was contracting. And it was like squeezing it, because every time the stomach pain came, and it was bad stomach pain, it hurt, and then I would throw up, and then I would feel better for a few minutes, and then it started to happen more frequently, and I knew when it was about to be the last few times, because I didn't have anything else left to throw up after a while. I was just throwing up little bits of mucus and little bits of, acid bubbles. And yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough. I did the duck flower cleanse. I'm ending it on, now I'm fasting. I'm juice fasting. So that's how that worked out for me. And yeah, it's definitely no joke. I wasn't afraid though, but I mean, it did get intense, especially towards the middle ending of it. It did last the full, 6 to 8 hours for me. So yeah, it got real, but it was definitely worth it. My skin looks better today. I feel better today when I first got up, because when I went to sleep I just passed out. I was like, no more pain, it's done. I just like hurried up and went to sleep, because during the whole process you really can't sleep, because the body is just going through so much. You could try to sleep, but if you do, you're probably going to just wake up puking. And also, I didn't have any bowel movements. It was just straight throw up for me for those 6 hours and some change, just straight throw up. But I feel clear. The reason why I took the duck flower when I did was because I had been craving to eat, and I wanted to start my liquid fast. So I just started to jumpstart my fast with the duck flower, clear out my some of my mucoid plaque and my intestines and stuff, because I hadn't ate anything yesterday but only fruit before I took the duck flower. And now today I'm feeling good. I'm not hungry. I've only had water, and I'll be doing an extended liquid fast. And I will also be updating y'all on my liquid fast. Once I get to 7 days, I'll do an update on my fast as well. So that was the duck flower cleanse.